Back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If you're stopping by the channel for the first time, please consider subscribing to my channel. And while you're at it, smash that like button. I really would appreciate it. Also, hit that post notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload a new video. If you want up to 20 free stocks, Webull is going to give you up to 20 free stocks when you open a new Webull brokerage account. All you got to do is get yourself down to the description box in the video, click on the Webull link. It has all the details, but I'll share them with you anyways. If you put $100 in there, they're going to give you 3 fractional share stocks. If you put $500 in your new Webull brokerage account, they're going to give you 20 free fractional share stocks. Won't last long, so don't delay. Act today. Get yourself down to the description box. Click on that first link, which is that Webull link, and go open up that Webull account and go get you some free stocks. www.richardfame.net is the website address. I got 10 big boy blue chip digital products. In my opinion, will change your financial life, but you guys go check them out. Thousands of you guys have already checked them out, so thank you. But for you guys that haven't, you got to go check out the website. Second link down in the description box. Click on the website link. It'll take you over to the website. Check out the digital products. And while you're there, consider joining the Wealth Builders, my financial community on Patreon. We actually, tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern time, we will be having a private live stream on Patreon for just the Wealth Builders. So if you want to be a part of that conversation where I will be giving you guys the real stuff, right? I will be giving you the real game. That's what I do on that Patreon Wealth Builders financial community. We'll be talking about what's going to be happening next week and specifically what I'm going to be doing to prepare myself to get ready to rock and roll for next week. So if you want to be a part of that in the website, click on the join button, the membership button. It'll take you over to Patreon. Sign up. Get yourself together. Join us tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern time for the private live stream. Bam! You ready to go, right? All right. Let's talk about Nvidia or Nvidia, however you want to pronounce it. Let's talk about these guys. Why are people saying Nvidia is about to go crazy? So I started hearing this and reading this online, and I said, well, let me go out and do a little research and figure out what's going on. Now, one thing that's going on is we know on Wednesday, May 28th, after the market closes, they're coming out with Q1 earnings report. That's happening on Wednesday, guys. And what I've been reading is the market is really looking towards that earnings report to be a tailwind. Now, whether that'll happen or not, you guys know I don't know. I'm just a guy on YouTube telling you what I've been hearing and seeing in the research I've been doing. So I went out and dug a little deeper and found a couple of articles that I'm going to share with you that kind of gives a perspective on this thing. But for you guys that have been rocking with me, y'all that know I've been a long time Nvidia shareholder for a long time, right? And I've seen the last 3 quarters where they came in, beat expectations, top line, bottom line, and guess what happened to the stock price? Sold off. So what's going to be different this time? What if they come out on Wednesday, beat top line, beat bottom line, but they don't give strong guidance for second quarter? What happens to the stock price? Y'all drop it in the comments and let me know what y'all think will happen to the stock price if that's the scenario, because that's one of the scenarios in these 2 articles that I read and decided to share with you guys. Again, I'm not a professional here. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I don't care what, I'm not trying to tell you to do anything. I'm just sharing information with you. So please understand that. I'm just simply sharing information. Again, I'm not here to tell you it's going up or going down. All I'm telling you is what the experts are saying from the information that I've gathered, and for me personally, because I've been in the stock over a year. And I've seen 3 quarters in a row. I saw second quarter last year, I saw third quarter, and I saw fourth quarter last year. 3 quarters while I was in the stock as a shareholder. I've seen all 3 of those quarters where they beat top line, bottom line, and gave good guidance, and the stock price still sold off. So I'm not trying to figure out what's going to happen, guys, because I don't know. All I know is Q1 results are coming out. The market is really, really hoping they deliver and it becomes a tailwind to take things higher. We'll have to see. But let's take a look at this real quick, and then we'll discuss a little more. I'll give you a little bit of more of my opinion, and that's all it is. It's just my opinion. Nvidia stock. This is coming from an article that I read earlier. So this is what they're saying. Nvidia stock is trading at 131.29 as of May 26, down 1.2% over the last 24 hours. While the small drop may be raising investor eyebrows, it follows an unprecedented rally. Nvidia has jumped over 50% from its April lows. This is a testament to investors' strong appetite for exposure to the artificial intelligence boom, as well as the company's central role in fueling next generation data centers. This is what one of the articles was saying. Now let's move over to this other one, and let's talk a little bit about this. What analysts think of Nvidia stock ahead of earnings? Now, this is coming from analysts in this article on Investopedia. Not from Richard Fain, from these analysts who are the professionals, not me. So you take it for what you want to take it for. My recommendation, you go out and do your own research and you figure out what you believe and go with that, right? Don't, you know. I'm just going off of what I'm reading here. So here's what they're saying in this article from Investopedia. They're saying this is what the analysts are saying ahead of Wednesday, May 28th, which is going to be a huge, huge earnings report. Because, here's the thing, guys. Wherever Nvidia goes or Nvidia goes, AI follows. So the key here is, will they come out, beat top line, bottom line, and will they give positive Q2 guidance on revenue and EPS and the rest of this stuff for Q2? That's what people are really thinking. They're thinking, goodness gracious, what will happen Q2? Especially with obviously all of the tariff stuff going on, right? Where they're limited kind of to who they can sell their advanced chips to. There are some limitations to that, right? So people are starting to wonder, will there be positive guidance for Q2? Now, we'll see on Wednesday, right? We'll see. But here's what the analysts are saying according to Investopedia. Okay? Here's what the analysts are saying. Nvidia is slated to report fiscal first quarter results after the market closes Wednesday, with Wall Street expecting a record quarter from the world's second most valuable company. So already, guys, according to this article, experts, analysts are expecting a record quarter. Will that happen? I don't know, but I'm just telling you what the experts are expecting according to Investopedia article right here. Let's keep moving. Analysts on average expect Nvidia to report quarterly revenue of $43.38 billion. Now, this is what they're expecting. That doesn't mean that's what will happen. This is what the analysts are expecting from Nvidia for Q1 when it comes to revenue, which would be a 66% increase year over year. That seems like pretty decent numbers to me. Again, that's just me. That seems like that's pretty decent numbers to me, right? And adjusted net income of $21.29 billion, or 87 cents per share, up from $15.24 billion or 61 cents per share a year earlier. So right now, analysts believe they're going to do record numbers, revenue, right? Record numbers in revenue. You're talking about 43.38 billion. They've never done that before. If I'm not mistaken, fourth quarter, they did around, I want to say 39 billion or 40 billion. I'm not absolutely sure on that one, so go fact check it. But somewhere around 40 billion. They're expecting them to do 43.38 billion. Now, here's the thing. If they don't do that, let's say they come in below that, what does that mean? I don't know. It doesn't seem like it would be good though. But again, I'm just a guy reading an article, right? So you have to figure that out, right? You got to go out and do some homework and figure that one out. And they also expect EPS, right? EPS to come in at 87 cents per share. Last year it came in Q1 at 61 cents per share. So nice little jump there as well. Wimbush analysts said the chip maker Titan will continue to be a beneficiary of huge investments in AI infrastructure from hyperscalers like Meta, Google, which is parent company is Alphabet for Google, Apple, Amazon, Microsoft. Spending on AI in particular ends up flowing to Nvidia, which supplies a disproportionate amount of the AI server value, the analyst said. So, of course, we've been hearing this talk about, well, golly, will the hyperscalers stop spending as much on AI infrastructure? These analysts don't believe they will. Again, you got to go out and do your own research and figure that one out for yourself. But this article from Investopedia, the analysts that they talk to believe Nvidia will be in line to continue to do big numbers based on the spending patterns that these hyperscalers, right, and these mega caps are going to continue spending. And I've often told you guys, my opinion is when you're a hyperscaler, you cannot afford to be last in the artificial intelligence race. If I'm Meta, I can't be last place. I have to spend the money to make sure I keep up or I'm in first place. Same with your hyperscalers like Microsoft, right? Amazon and Alphabet. They're all hyperscalers. They got these, they got these large cloud service businesses, right? So they cannot afford not to have the most advanced data centers, large language models in the world. They got to, or they'll fall behind, right? So this is what the analysts are saying. Analysts may ask CEO Jensen Huang about sales to China after 47 earlier this year imposed tighter export controls. Remember we talked about that earlier this year? Nvidia has warned of a $5.5 billion charge due to restrictions on its H20 chip. They came out with that, I want to say last month. Remember they came out and said we got to have this one-time charge to revenue of 5.5 billion because we can't sell a certain amount of these chips to China because of restrictions. And in my opinion, why do we see restrictions? Because of course, the United States does not want China to be getting all of these advanced chips and pass us. We want to be the premier artificial intelligence advanced chip maker ecosystem right here in America. We don't want China having that because see, he or she controls AI, controls what? The money. Because a lot of people believe AI is the future. So if China controls AI, listen, man, that's a problem. So therefore, companies like Nvidia and other semiconductors have some restrictions on them, right? America is not going to allow them to sell China the most advanced chips. They're going to save those for us and probably our allies, right? Again, just my opinion. You guys go out and do your own homework and figure it out for yourself. My job is not here to convince you anything. My job here is to share some information with you and get you to think. That's all it is. Share information, get you to think. So Nvidia has warned of a $5.5 billion charge due to restrictions on its H20 chip. And Hong reportedly called the export curbs a policy failure that is driving China to accelerate development of its own AI chips. See, this is what Jensen came out and said is, listen, guys, us not being able to sell them our inferior chip, because that's what it is. It's not Blackwell. It's the other generation lower than Blackwell, which is the H200, which is now considered an inferior chip to Blackwell, which is the most advanced chip, right? He's saying, Jensen Huang is saying, that's a failure, guys, because what's going to happen is since we can't sell it to them, they're going to go somewhere else. Or, more importantly, they're going to develop it right there in their own country. Now, this is what Jensen Huang is saying to whoever is listening to him, right? So he's basically saying, here it is. And Hong reportedly called the export curbs a policy failure that is driving China to accelerate development of its own AI advanced chips. Oppenheimer analysts expect the impact of the restrictions to be relatively modest. We see upside. This is what Oppenheimer is saying, which is another big boy company out there that analyzes companies. Oppenheimer, big time company. Go research them. So Oppenheimer analysts expect the impact of the restrictions to be relatively modest. We see upside. Despite the loss of the H20 sales to China, the analyst said, noting that the country now makes up just 5% of Nvidia's total sales. That makes a shareholder like myself feel great about that statement. Again, this is coming from Oppenheimer. These are professionals, guys. This ain't coming from Richard Fain. This is coming from Oppenheimer. They're saying, hey, that's going to be modest. Don't freak out over it. China only represents 5% of their sales. 95% of their sales do not come from China. That's good news, guys. In my opinion, that is good news. And I didn't know that until I read this article. So it's really good to get out there and do you some research, right? Do you some research. Both Winbush and Oppenheimer have outperformed ratings for Nvidia stock. So both of those companies have an outperform rating, which is good. Along with price targets of 175, right? Of the 18 analysts tracked by Visible Alpha, 16 have a buy rating for Nvidia stock alongside 2 hold ratings. Their consensus price target near 164 a share would suggest about a 25% upside from Friday's closing price. Again, guys, these are just analysts giving their predictions. That don't mean nothing about the stock going to anything. We've been here before. We've seen this company beat top line, beat bottom line, and the stock price sell off. So all I'm telling you is what the analysts are predicting over the next 12 months. That doesn't mean it'll happen. So we should never, well, I can't say we. I personally will never make my decision based on that. But it's good to know what the experts are saying, right? That's just good to know. And everybody don't agree with that. So also keep that in mind. This is just 16 of the 18 analysts have a buy on it. And then you got 2 of the analysts that have a hold. The good news is out of those 18 analysts, none of them have a sell. That doesn't mean others don't, right? So you got to go out and do your homework to figure that one out. Shares of Nvidia have fallen slightly this year, though are still up almost 25% over the past 12 months. There you go. This is coming from Investopedia. And the title of the article is What Analysts Think of Nvidia Stock Ahead of Earnings. So if you want to go out there and read that article for yourself, you certainly can. Just go to Google and just type in What Analysts Think of Nvidia Stock Ahead of Earnings. It will go ahead and bring you up in Investopedia. You can click on it and go take a look at that article for yourself. I just wanted to share that information with you guys because, again, man, you know, personally, I'm a shareholder, right? And I have been for over a year. And I've always believed Nvidia was a great company and headed to greater things. But again, guys, that doesn't mean they will. You know, anytime we look at companies and we're trying to be the expert picking these individual companies, you really got to know what you're doing. So that's why, for me personally, I try to stick more to ETFs where I don't have to be the expert. But I just wanted to share a little bit of information with you guys on, you know, Nvidia before earnings on Wednesday. It'll be interesting to see what happens on Wednesday after the market closes. Personally, I'm just giving you my personal opinion. I think they will beat top line and bottom line. I personally do. What I'm really concerned with as a shareholder is what type of guidance do they give for Q2, right? Because obviously how this thing works, in my opinion, is, you know, the more revenue you make, of course, Wall Street wants more. So if they do hit 43 and some change billion for Q1, of course, Wall Street is going to want more in Q2. That's the concern. At what point, you know, it's just, you got to keep raising the bar on them, right? And even when, like I said, the last 3 quarters, when you go back and look at Q2 of last year, you look at Q3 of last year, and you look at Q4 of last year, and all 3 of those earnings reports, they beat top line and bottom line very well, right? They did. And in my opinion, again, no analyst here, no expert, but just me listening to the call as a shareholder, it seemed as though they had positive guidance for the next quarter coming, but they still sold off. I mean, not just a little bit. I mean, a nice little chunk. Now, of course, at some point they recovered, you know, blah, 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 blah. But we've been seeing this 175 number for a long time. That what, a year, let's say a year. I won't say a long time, but we've been seeing that 175 target over the next 12 months for at least a year. And I think the closest they got to it, at least since I've been a shareholder of the company, the closest I've seen them get to it was in mid-December of 2024 when I believe the stock price got to about 153. That's the closest I've seen them get to it since, you know, the 10-to-1 split back in, when was that, June of 2024? So we'll have to see, man. You know, we'll have to see kind of what will happen. I'm going to be there, you know, with my popcorn and listening to Jensen Wong and his team express Q1 numbers and what Q2 looks like, right? That's the important thing, I think. That's the one. And then we'll see how the market reacts to it. You know, no one really knows. I certainly don't. But we'll see what the market does and how they react to that information, right? We'll see. As a shareholder, I hope the market reacts positively if they come out and do what they need to do, if they take care of business. I mean, if they take care of business, beat top line, beat bottom line, give a good projection for Q2 and beyond, and show, you know, that there's still demand from not only the hyperscalers, but other industries. And because that's really the thing I would want to see as a shareholder is some discussion around what other industries outside of the hyperscalers do you believe there's potential to sell into those industries. I think that's the one that I would be on the earnings call on Wednesday. I'm going to be looking out for is, what other industries do you see, Jensen Wong, that are right around the corner where you can sell into those industries and continue growing that revenue? Because at the end of the day, I think personally, and again, I'm no expert here and I'm not trying to give financial advice, but I am a shareholder. And as a shareholder, I believe I have the right to express my opinion. So I'm a shareholder, I express my opinion, and that's all it is. This ain't me trying to tell nobody what to do. I'm not trying to be some expert, because I'm not. I'm just a guy who's a shareholder of the company, and I have an opinion, right? So my opinion is, in order for us to continue moving that stock price up, we certainly have to continue increasing that revenue, right? I think you got to get to that 200, 300 billion dollar a year revenue number, and for that stock to keep going up. That's my opinion. Again, no expert here, ain't trying to be an expert. I'm just giving you a shareholder's dream because I'm a shareholder. So my dream is keep building the revenue, and it would help if we can show other industries where there's big chunks of revenue that we can, grab out of those industries to continue to scale up. Because the negative on Nvidia is if the hyperscalers, the mega caps, if they stop buying for whatever reason, how does that impact revenue? So that's really the negative that Jensen has to go ahead and address. And I'm sure he's addressed that before. Of course, I've not been privy to every conversation that he's had. But I'd like to hear more of that on the earnings call on Wednesday when I listen to it, just to talk about other industries that they have an opportunity to be able to penetrate and sell in, and how does that affect the revenue, and what's the game plan if the hyperscalers do decide to pull back? What is the game plan? So I'm sure some analyst or financial reporter will be there or on the phone asking those questions. So that's why I like to be listening in on that call, so I can get a better understanding of this company that I'm a shareholder of. And yeah, I like to just get a better understanding of the company. And those earnings report calls, they just help me get a better understanding. It's nice to listen to Jensen Wong, the CFO, and these other people that are on his team talk about this company and their path, right? Their runway. I want to hear more about the runway and other industries and partnerships. They just announced the partnership with NVTS. So that was nice. So I just want to hear more things like that during the earnings call. I still believe in the company. I'm a shareholder. I plan on continuing to be a shareholder. And we'll just have to see what happens on Wednesday, May 28th. Personally, my prediction is I think they will beat top line and bottom line. The thing that concerns me is guidance for Q2 and beyond. That concerns me. But hey, the last 3 quarters, they've done everything right, in my opinion, and the market wasn't happy with it, and it sold off. So who knows what will happen, but only time will tell. I will be dialed in and locked in on Wednesday at 5, I believe it's 5 p.m., after the market closes. And then, of course, probably the next day I'll share with you guys my thoughts on that. And again, just a shareholder, not trying to be some analyst or expert, because I'm not. I'm just a shareholder. So I like to be able to, give my opinion on a company that I've taken my hard-earned money and put in. I'd like to be able to do that on my channel, and so that's what I try to do. I'm not. You guys know I've always told y'all I'm no expert. I'm not trying to be an expert. Building wealth is a long-term process. It takes a while. It's not an overnight thing. It never has been on this channel, and it never will be. So, hey, buckle in, get yourself together on what you need to do to build wealth for you and your family, and put y'all in a protected position, because we're in some volatile times. We're in some times right now that are unprecedented. And I think you need to be able to have your financial house in order to be able to weather the storm that's coming, because I believe a storm is coming. That's just my opinion. And so get your financial house in order so you can weather this storm, right? And that means living on less than what you make, living on a plan, staying out of consumer debt, save and invest. Those are the things that I would recommend you consider as you get your financial house in order and get ready for this financial hurricane season that's coming. There's a financial hurricane season coming. Be ready, guys. That's all I can tell you. Get your financial house in order. If you want up to 20 free stocks, Webull is going to give you up to 20 free stocks when you open a new Webull brokerage account. First link down in the description box is the Webull link. Check it out, guys. You put $100 in there, they give you 3 fractional share stocks. You put $500 in your new Webull brokerage account, they will give you 20 free fractional share stocks. Like I said, limited time offer, don't delay. Get down to that description box, click on that Webull link. Open up your new account. Go get yourself some free stock. www.richardfain.net is the website address. I got 10 big boy blue chip digital products that I believe will change your financial life. Thousands of you guys have already taken advantage of increasing your financial literacy through those digital products. So if you haven't, go to the website. Second link, www.richardfain.net. Second link, check out the website. Check out the digital products. While you're there, consider joining the Wealth Builders, my financial community on Patreon. Matter of fact, tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern time, we have a live stream on Patreon, private live stream just for the Wealth Builders. And I'm going to be giving the real game. That's where I give the real game, guys, is on Patreon in my financial community. So if you want to be a part of that, nuggets, tips, best practices, what's working, what's not working, have access to me one-on-one through direct message to ask questions. And again, no expert here, just a guy that's been doing this for 30 years, so I have a level of experience. Not that I'm always right, because I'm not, but I'm just a regular guy, but I do have some experience, and I have been doing this for a while. So guess what? You get me, plus you get almost 2,000 other wealth builders that are on that financial community. So if you want to participate, be a part of our family, our financial family, in the website, click on the join button, click on the membership button. It'll take you over to Patreon. Sign up, come join us. Better yet, be a part of the live stream tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Be a part of the live stream tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern time. We'd love to have you on our team, so consider it. That's all I'll ask you to do is consider it. Well, appreciate y'all, guys. I'm out of here. I got to go eat dinner. Got to do a few other things before I get ready for this Patreon Wealth Builders live stream. I appreciate y'all checking in. I appreciate y'all tapping in. I'll be back tomorrow with some more content, so be prepared for it. Tap in again tomorrow. Thoughts become things. You can see it in your mind. You can hold it in your hands. You guys keep chasing your greatness. Never stop believing in yourself. Stay healthy, get wealthy. Catch you on the next video.